Okay, we're in the Brown Building. Is that correct? The
That's
Brown
correct.
Building in White Oaks?
Brown Building.
And your name is?
My name is Karen.
Karen, tell us about the Brown Building.
Well, the Brown Building is 6,000 square feet, top and bottom, not including the 2 full basements on either side of the building. It was built in 1885. It was used as a schoolhouse until the schoolhouse was built. And the schoolhouse is circa 1892. The parents of the community built the schoolhouse for $10,000, paid $300 a year tuition until the debt was paid. So after this stopped being a schoolhouse, it became a general store on this side. On the west side, it was Saul Wiener's men's clothier shop. So it's reflective of a lot of the history that happened in White Oaks. It was also ran as a B&B, what we would call a B&B today, by one of the 2 Chinese men that lived here, and he's actually buried in our cemetery.
Interesting. So I have to ask, is anybody famous ever walked through these doors into this building?
Well, I can't tell you that for sure, but I know that the first governor of the territory, or excuse me, of the state of New Mexico, Governor McDonald, is from White Oaks and is buried here. And that I would think that because this was a commercial entity until I think the 40s or 50s, it was open, or even later than that, the probability is probably pretty high.
Interesting. So as I look around the building, I see the wood paneling behind you, the wood behind you, but I also see behind that, over there in that corner, I'm going to zoom in on it, is the old wall.
That's correct. This is all 3 sides of this building is stone masonry. It was plastered, however, which is what they did back in the day. The interior was plastered. The front of the building, however, was frame, and they used, in White Oaks, they also manufactured their own bricks. So they used, instead of insulation, for example, they used the soft bricks that they manufactured in the front of the building. And many of the older pictures you'll see of the building will have the pictures of the brick within the frame. And the front of the building at one time deteriorated and fell forward. So the front of the building has been reframed with some of the original tin work and the Metzger Brothers storefront, which is traditional for the period.
So anybody that comes in, this is what you're going to find. You're going to find lots of old-fashioned style candy jars on the desk. I love that.
Yes. One of our patrons who's 98 years old, and all of the people who came here as kids growing up, said that Mrs. Brown, who ran the store, Mrs. Brown, had a full wall of candies, a variety of candies. And everyone talks about that. And Mr. Hobbs, who's at the schoolhouse on Saturday mornings and offers a real history of the community as a citizen, tells people to come down here and get gumballs, because that's what a lot of the kids did. So that's why we've started. And these are all original from New York City, turn-of-the-century candies.
Oh.
So.
Well, they look very familiar. I think I grew up outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and there was a corner store downtown, my grandparents' duplex, which was built for the 1904 World's Fair, and she'd take us down there all the time and get candies very similar to these that you have here. One of which I remember was the old-fashioned candy cigarettes, which are...
Right, or I remember, because I did the same thing at my grandmother's in California, and that was the bubblegum cigars with the little wrapper. I don't know if you remember those or not, but yeah.
So how long have you been working the store?
I've had this building for about 3 years. I'm about to start my 4th year here.
You're not originally from White Oaks, I'm assuming?
I'm not. I'm a native New Mexican, however.
Oh, okay.
And I travel the state with sort of my day job, this is going to become my full-time day job.
Good for you.
And my goal, I have a background in anthropology and archaeology, and I was requested for many years to purchase the building, and so we're just trying to keep it glued together and functioning, and we're finishing the upstairs.
What will be upstairs when you get done?
Well, my offices will be upstairs, and possibly an Airbnb or a retreat for professionals.
Very nice.
It will not be a motel, if you will.
Right.
and it will not be a commercial bed and breakfast. And in order to do that, we would have to, and meet compliance, we would have to compromise the architecture of the building.
I understand.
So
don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Good for you. So anybody that comes in now, they can get everything from modern T-shirts to antiques and chairs.
Antiques. We also work with the film industry. We lease movie props to the film industry in Santa Fe. And some of the letters that you see here, for example, are from the movie set of the Book of Eli.
I'm very familiar with that.
We also have the blueprints for certain movie sets, and so we do a lot of that. A lot of the items you see here were in the Book of Eli, or not, excuse me, not the Book of Eli, Magnificent Seven, which is coming out in September.
Yes.
So the pot-bellied stove, for example, is in their cantina. There's also a caboose stove.
This pot-belly stove right here.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And that will be in the Magnificent Seven.
Yes, and
how cool
there's
is
a
that?
caboose stove over there. And there's a mining scene. We also have antique mining carts and rail, which is now on a movie set up there where they're filming for Netflix.
Oh.
So we do a lot of that as well.
I'm a big Netflix fan.
Yes, I think many are. So.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I have to ask, do you have good internet connection up here in White Oaks?
I have Wi-Fi right here in this building.
All right.
Yep,
you wonder, though, because sometimes you get into these out-of-way communities and you just don't know if they have it or not.
You just don't know. Phone reception is difficult. In this building, we get 1 or 2 bars. But I'm about to get a commercial booster, so hopefully that will remedy that.
Well, I am going to turn the camera off now and look around. This is great. This is fantastic.
Oh, good.
I love it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right.